This video is brought to you by Crucible. Stick around at the end to find out more. Friends, I have a shocking announcement to make. In recent weeks, I, Yahtzee Croshaw, have been playing an online multiplayer game. What's more, I've been playing it on public servers with random players. And here's the final, most shocking element of this revelation. I am under no professional obligation to do so. I have been doing it for fun. And I know how that must come across. Me, the single-player absolutist, the lover of crafted interactive narrative, for whom the live service games industry is mentioned in the same breath as the norovirus. Tell us about this extraordinary new multiplayer experience that has turned your head. Well, that's just it, viewer. It's quite an old multiplayer experience, namely Dead by Daylight, the 1v4 asymmetric horror game, which you might recall me discussing ages ago in my video about games that I like but don't actually play. A video that I suppose is going to have to be updated now. It all started back when we were doing a Second Wind fundraising stream. We all voted on what games we wanted to play, Dead by Daylight came up, and still interested in it, I discreetly added my votes to its tally. I figured it was my best possible chance to play it with my mates, and as such minimised the possibility of gnawing my own tits off. And I enjoyed the experience, to the point that the very next day, while not streaming, I joined a couple of random online matches. I suppose what clinched my decision to do so was during the previous day, when I went to the game settings menu to mute in-game voice chat. I discovered that I didn't have to, because Dead by Daylight has no in-game voice chat. Oh my god, I thought, maybe this game actually fucking gets it. Voice chat is the death of atmosphere and tension in multiplayer horror games. I used to enjoy playing Friday the 13th, the game, back before that got condemned to rights ownership hell. I liked both the unnerving dread of never knowing where the Jason player is going to pop up next, and also the gleeful catharsis of stabbing the fuck out of cheerleaders. But the players using voice chat always ruined it. The Jasons with mics kept narrating their own actions in comedy doofus voices, and whenever survivors were on mics, they kept trying to coordinate with each other. Hey, let's try for a Jason kill. Stop it! You're extras in a Jason movie. Your job is to run around and make funny noises when things get inserted into you. Know your place, Chad. So obviously Dead by Daylight having no in-game voice chat at all removes that problem. And while playing it, I realised I'd forgotten how much I had enjoyed Friday the 13th back in the day. The tension, the peaks and valleys of hiding and fleeing. Dead by Daylight even has Jason as an unlockable villain character now, although he does look like complete ass. If you're not familiar with it, how DBD works is that you're in a large open area with lots of hiding spots and possible chasing routes. 4 players are squishy humans, and their job is to activate 5 hidden generators and get the fuck out of dodge. The 5th player is the killer, and their job is to chase the human players, grab them and put them on spikes. Other players can rescue them from spikes and heal each other, but anyone who gets spiked 3 times is out for good. Simple, really. Made complicated by the fucking multiple interlocking spider webs of unlockable perks and modifiers that drive all the live service number-chasing twattery, but the basics are straightforward. No trying for Jason kills here. The killer hunts and can't be hurt. The players squat next to generators, run, heal each other, and whine a lot about their hurty axe wounds. And that's all you need to know to get started. I should mention at this point that I exclusively play Dead by Daylight as survivor, never as killer. The thought of playing as killer makes me anxious, and since I'm playing this for my own fun, rather than review, I don't see any reason to go outside my comfort zone. I tried playing killer against a team of 4 bots, but they kept escaping from me, and I decided that didn't bode well. See, the thing with me, the reason why this doesn't mean I'm suddenly a multiplayer-liking person and will be heading down the CSGO mines toot sweet, is that I'm really insecure and really self-conscious. I don't like multiplayer because I don't like feeling under pressure to pull my weight. I hate the thought that someone, even someone I will never meet, even someone who has no idea who I am, is looking at me and thinking, boy, that guy sucks at this. I know it's not a rational feeling, but I don't plan to work on it because I don't believe my life would be massively improved by playing more online multiplayer games. And in the times when I've been playing Dead by Daylight and the killer has completely dropped the ball, and me and 3 other entirely uninjured survivors are basically forming a conga line to the exit door without even catching a glimpse of the stupid bastard, I couldn't bear the thought of being that stupid bastard, with other players thinking of me, what a stupid bastard, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It'd feel like letting them down. The thing about Dead by Daylight and other 1 versus multiple asymmetric games is that when you sign up to be the killer, you're basically signing up to be the host of a party. It's your responsibility to make sure all 4 of your guests have a fun time and feel attended to. And at any given moment, there are so many choices you're making. Do I run this way or that way? Do I follow that sound? Do do I smash that piece of wood? Some of these will be correct choices that help me, and some of them will be wrong choices that will fuck things up. It's the knowledge of all those choices hanging over me while the clock ticks and the party guests are expecting their murder canapes that I find so paralysing and unpleasant. Meanwhile, I get none of that playing as Survivor, because it's the inverse, isn't it? You're not responsible for shit. You can spend your time doing squats in the long grass and you're still basically doing your job. You find a generator, you have a sit down, chill out, enjoy the atmosphere, then maybe the killer spots you and it's time for a nice invigorating jog. Peaks and valleys, you see. It's hard to fuck up playing Survivor because even if you're being chased, you're still distracting the killer from the other survivors and letting them work on generators in peace. Maybe I get away, which is fine, or maybe I'll get grabbed and that's fine too, because it'll distract the killer for longer. It doesn't frustrate me. I'm all like, oh, you got me, well played. Gave you a run though, didn't I? Think I beat my record. So how have you been, anyway? What's that hook for? Ow. It's enjoyable, almost meditative, in stark contrast to the killer experience where I feel like you have to be on all the time. But wait a minute, I've got something to unpack now, because in Friday the 13th, the game, sorry to keep bringing it up, but it's basically my only point of comparison, I did used to play as Jason. I was a part 6 main with the big spear, and I enjoyed that. So how was it different? On reflection, I think it was, again, that it was a lot harder to fuck up. It was a lot easier to be effective with Jason's teleports and Evil Dead monster vision, and when you caught dudes, you just killed them. You didn't have to piss about with all the fiddly hook business. Even if you weren't that skilled, it didn't matter, because your job was really just to be a presence, to keep the players unnerved. On top of that, there was much less of a sense that the players were working together. It was very much an every horny team for himself sort of atmosphere. The smaller maps and fewer objectives in Dead by Daylight make Survivor collaboration practically unavoidable. And I suppose bearing that in mind, it's too easy to imagine myself as a greenhorn killer being ganged up on by 4 experienced survivors, laughing and doing the equivalent of tossing my keys back and forth over my head as I go, "Stop bullying me, it's my first day!" So, in conclusion, I have been quite enjoying playing Dead by Daylight, but it's not going to change anything about my overall stance on online multiplayer, because it's very much the exception rather than the rule. The lack of in-game voice chat should broadcast that well enough. It's more like the Dark Souls multiplayer experience. You meet up, keep your fucking mouths shut, do the job, and then you piss off and never meet each other again. It's the perfect relationship. Nothing left to do now except fall in line with the rest of the Dead by Daylight community, I suppose, which as far as I can see mainly consists of complaining about nerfs. Oh, and suggesting what other intellectual properties I'd like to see licensed for the game. I'm gonna go with Maniac Cop, the Daleks from Doctor Who, and my dad right after he gets out of the bath and is walking around the house with his dressing gown hanging open.
Modern virtual tabletops do their best to emulate and translate traditional TTRPGs into a digital space, like the absolute rat's nest of adapter cables needed to plug in old hardware to a new computer. But then there's Crucible, a modern TTRPG built specifically for digital play, featuring powerful rules automation, strategic grid-based combat, and beautiful built-in visualization of actions and spells. Crucible is a game system built by VTT heavyweights Foundry VTT. So what do you want to play as? Just a druid? Only a fighter? Simply a wizard? With Crucible, you get to plug your cable in any port, metaphorically. In this metaphor, your character is the cable and the ports are dozens of talents. That's right, there's a classless leveling system that uses a talent tree instead of linear progression, allowing for almost as many character builds as there are USB types. Like USB mini and micro USB are 2 different connections. Insane. The Crucible system is designed to be intuitive to play without having to memorize a rulebook, with extensive tooltips for all game mechanics and a guided character creation process right inside Foundry VTT. Crucible is where video game streamlining meets TTRPGs. Just like how my 1998 DV camera meets with my new computer, but with like 7 fewer cables.